I can confidently say today, Fireflies will do better than a human in 95% of the cases.
That's awesome.
The accuracy is like 98% for English. We also support 100 different languages, and we're seeing the accuracy improve in those languages. It can work in noisy environments. Our AI can detect speakers. But at the time, we didn't have all this, right? So what we said is, well, what's the best alternative here, right? Is you not taking any notes and not remembering anything. So let's transcribe your meetings and create a way for you to search back through those meetings and jog your memory. The whole value prop at the time was, we want to help you jog your memory. Like, it's your second brain. It's going to help you remember your conversations with your clients, your candidates, all of that stuff. But then over time, fast forward, you get ChatGPT, you get LLMs, you get AI, the voice technology starts improving, and we rode that wave. Fireflies happened over a wave of 3 amazing incidents. One is transcription accuracy started getting significantly better around 2019, 2020, right around the time when we were working on this. The other thing is costs started going down, where before, if you wanted like 1 hour of transcription, that was extremely expensive. You're paying $60 to $70. Whereas with Fireflies, you can get like a year's subscription for the price that you pay for 1 to 2 hours of human transcription. So you beat it out on the cost. And then COVID happens. Everyone's hopping on video calls, and you're having Zoom fatigue, going from one meeting to another, not remembering anything. And we launched just a few months before COVID in 2020, January 2020. And that helped us take off like crazy. And then the final wave is the LLMs and ChatGPT. Because when we first launched, transcription was a stretch. And then transcription became really good, right? It's like 90% plus, 95% plus. And then we're like, okay, what do we do about the notes, the core value prop? And at the time, people were saying, there is no way you can write notes like a human would. Because notes is an art. It's creative. You have to paraphrase. You have to create bullet points. You have to do shorthand. You have to do all of these things. And we were like, just wait and see. LLMs came out. We partner with OpenAI. And the rest is history. Like today, Fireflies writes better notes than me. It's more detailed. It has action items. It creates shorthand bullet point notes. It does everything that a human would. And it does it tirelessly, whether it's 5 a.m. in the morning or 10 p.m. at night. It will do it regardless. And that was the breakthrough for us. So it took us from 2020 to 2022 to start validating the tech. And then 2023 onwards, we just started blitz scaling, because whatever we promised back in 2020, it came to reality. In fact, it went above our expectations.
That's awesome. Well, how are you handling where things are now with, competition exploding in this space, right? So you mentioned Zoom. Zoom's got the features built in now. And Microsoft with their Copilot stuff. And so not everybody, but there's a lot of competition. How are you guys handling that, staying on top of market share?
Yeah, great question. So when something starts working, that's when the incumbents start seeing and say, hey, we should just look at what they're doing. We've had companies that come to us and ask at potentially acquiring us, because this is like definitely working. And we wanted to stay an independent company and build this into something massive. What we felt at the time was the core product still has to be incredible. It has to be amazing. We need to have the best summaries, notes on the market. So you compare us to almost any of these products, like we will definitely outshine just on quality, right? The quality alone isn't enough, but it is definitely what gets you a seat at the table.
Yeah, for sure.
Afterwards, you realize you need this AI to work across everything, whether you're on a Zoom call, whether you're on a Teams call, whether you're in person, whether you're doing a phone call through a telephony system. And one really cool thing about Fireflies is that it's like Switzerland, and it works across every system, every platform, and it integrates everywhere. So you have one AI that you just need to set up, and it works seamlessly after that. And by the way, the Switzerland comment was actually given by Bill Gates when I had a conversation with him. And it was an interesting conversation because they have Microsoft and they have some similar competing products.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I can see where you guys really shine because you're Switzerland. You work with everything and everyone. And for the end user, communication systems are fragmented. So you need that, right?
Yeah. So like we're very heavy in Zoom usage because we have remote scribe services and our business phone system is Zoom. So we're really heavy in that product. The problem is we meet with clients all the time that they want to meet in Teams, or they want to meet in Google Meet, or they want to meet in WebEx, or they whatever. And that Zoom AI doesn't go with us then.
Yeah.
Right.
And it doesn't remember all the context, like what you care about, what's important to you. Because Fireflies also can be customized to who you are, what your role is, and what type of meeting
that sounds amazing.
So if you're a doctor, the Fireflies note taker works fundamentally differently than if you're a financial advisor or if you are a salesperson. The other thing is we really focused in on teams, like building this product for teams from day one was very important for us because Fireflies is great if you use it as one person, but it's even better when you're using it as a team where all your shared knowledge, all your shared meetings come in one place. And we're creating this like knowledge base and repository that you can search through and have information for. That's where we really outshine most of the other products out there. It's collaborative, it's team-centric, and we integrate also on the downstream side to all the work applications you use. So if you're a salesperson and you're taking all of these meetings and all the notes are being generated, it'll automatically go into Salesforce, your CRM, and fill out all the information. Or it'll send the notes in Slack, or it will create a PDF of the notes in Dropbox. So it'll work with all these systems and do all this downstream work, which ends up making it so integrated. And I like to say Fireflies is not just a note taker anymore. It's my teammate because it follows me around and does all the work that I don't want to after a meeting. Because real work starts when you hit that end button on a call, right? After this, you're going to have to go write the podcast notes. You're going to have to send up some follow-up emails, some thank you messages, all the stuff. Fireflies will take care of all of that.
Yeah, that's amazing. It really is, because I'm just wrapping my head around that, because that's, a while back, before it was even this kind of thing was integrated into Zoom, I tried using like Otter AI and stuff like that because I saw people using that, and I just like, oh, check it out. And it was really I really couldn't depend on it. You know what I mean? Not necessarily the quality was meh, but that was just it. Sometimes it wouldn't even show up for meetings. It was like that employee that forgot the meeting was even happening. I was like, okay, I can't depend on this. Out you go. So I stopped that. So that is really cool thinking. I'm just noodling. Okay, it's doing all this for me in the meeting, but when I get out of this meeting, if it could jump into my CRM, update the opportunity on this deal, and those kind of things. I mean, that's next level, right? So here's a question, and Matt brought this up to me. So thanks, Matt. I know you don't have to chime in and say you're welcome, but I didn't really think about this, but he brought it up and said, hey, when we bring our AI assistants into meetings, sometimes whoever's controlling those meetings may or may not allow them in. Maybe there's privacy concerns, and so we work a lot in the healthcare environment, and we're meeting with folks, and there's always the questions about, hey, we don't want this recorded. Where's it being stored? Who has access to this, so on and so forth, right? Have you guys addressed that, or is that a part of something that you guys are trying to solve?
When we first launched, people would feel, what is this AI note taker? I don't feel comfortable with it. Like, why is this on the call?
Yeah.
Is this a spy? Like, what's going on with this note taker?
What are you
doing?
Then
the same people that said that today, I've had people message me saying, I feel so much more relaxed knowing that Fireflies is on the call when I see that title, I see the note taker, because I know I don't have to remember everything. Like the AI is doing it. So it's actually like reducing my anxiety. Like I get more anxiety if Fireflies is not on the call. And that's a complete 180 from these customers. And part of that is we're trying to create value for users. And when someone hops on a call and says, hey, I'm using Fireflies for note taking, I hope it's okay. If you don't want, I can remove it. It creates an interaction. It creates a conversation. Compliance creates a conversation. And a lot of times when people phrase it as, hey, I can send you the notes afterwards, this works really cool, I like using this tool, that's our marketing right there. We don't have to spend $1 on advertising or anything like that. If we just make our customers really happy, they are going to evangelize our product for us. That's why we have a very flexible free tier for people that want to use it continuously. They can do that. And through that, over the years, we've made Fireflies and the idea of an AI note taker, we really coined that term at the time, to be socially acceptable. And we've done a lot of work on security, privacy, enterprise controls. We work with CIOs of large companies. A lot of the time, we tell them, look, we're not training on your data.
Yeah.
Your data is yours. If you want to delete it, you can delete it anytime. Unlike other AI companies, I won't talk about, like, name the specific competitors, a lot of them, where they will take your data and train on that data to improve their models and do other stuff with it. We do not do that by default. We also have a private storage offering where if you're a large business or a medium-sized business, you can have the Fireflies notes and transcript stored on your own storage instances. So you have that autonomy over your data. And we've built like a lot of robust access control capabilities. So as people ask, like, hey, I don't want so-and-so to see this meeting in my team. I need to make it private. I need to put these in a private channel. So we have those capabilities as well. Because a lot of times administrators are like, I had a great conversation, but this conversation should not be seen by other teammates. So privacy controls is a huge thing. And then we even have like data retention controls where I love this, but I want the data deleted after 7 days.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool. I want it wiped after 7 days. Almost like Snapchat disappearing stories. It's the same thing there. And we've recently introduced a new mode where you can have just the notes and transcripts saved and not the audio. Because there's some businesses based on the compliance of their industry where they don't want the audio trail. They just want the notes and transcripts. So we're working with people in finance, we're working with people in some of the more sensitive industries. We try to cater to all of their needs. But that doesn't happen overnight. It took 4 or 5 years of evangelizing and getting people to realize, hey, this adds more value to me than it does about invading my privacy. And I have full control over my data.
That's awesome. That is great. Leading from that, and it's not even on my list, but it just popped into my head. When it comes to, taking an account feedback from your customers and things like that, sounds like you're very in tune with the folks that are using the product. What are some of the biggest features that you maybe don't have now that people are talking about that they want or wondering if it's possible?
People have always said, I love Fireflies, but what if it can just go do the meeting on my behalf without even having any other person from my team attend that meeting? So I'm going to tease at that right now. I won't reveal the full stuff.
Are we talking like almost feed your assistant? Here's my agenda. Here's what I want you to cover. Bring this up. Get me some answers. Here's some follow-up questions to these type of things. Or is that kind of what you're hinting at?
I mean, Fireflies knows everything I need to say on certain types of calls.
Mm-hmm.
And if it can go take that call and have a great interaction with that person or client or whoever, like, that's what people have asked. Like, that's the future that they want. And we've been listening to them, and we've been seeing, like, how can we stretch the technology to do some crazy things like that.
All right,
so
that's
something I'm very excited for. We have some cool stuff in the works that will come out very soon. We've also seen people really talk about the power of Fireflies in terms of the different systems that we use it in. And there's so many use cases beyond note-taking. And what we found was, well, Fireflies can do a lot more than just notes. And we built an AI app store where you can now have Fireflies create scorecards, write up emails, generate reports, create memos, do anything you want.
Can they make sales? I'm just playing around with you. I mean, if I could have an AI train on the way I handle a call, you know what I mean? And okay, go make these 30 calls, and make it past the gatekeeper.
You're onto something. You're definitely onto something that we're looking at. All I will say is we are very much in the era of AI agents. And now everyone uses this word AI agents and stuff.
Yeah, that was on my list. And
I will say Fireflies is the first AI agent ever out there in mass markets that was a note-taking agent.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be limited to note-taking.
Right.
So we're having agents that we're working on, but we've also rolled out AI applications where Fireflies can create scorecards of all my sales calls. It can analyze all my sales calls. It can write up the follow-up emails. It can extract like the 5-6 fields that I need from a sales call, like budget, authority, next steps, and then go and fill them out. So it's doing more. So we have 200 plus apps, which you can think of as skills or capabilities that Fireflies can do beyond just note taking. And this is what's allowing us to cover a lot of those feature requests and use cases across industries. So we have AI apps for salespeople, AI apps for recruiters, AI apps for marketers. I'll give one that I love using. One of the AI apps that I have is after a meeting, Fireflies will go in, take the most memorable quotes, and clip them into 30-second sound bites automatically.
Oh, Krish, you're killing me. Oh, my brain's going nuts here because I mean we do a daily version of this show where we're kind of just shucking and jiving, and we try to bring in commentators and we'll talk about more current things. But then we use that as content we create and we clip up and we put out there, to kind of promo the company in the show. Man, if an AI could do that work for me, that would be amazing.
Yeah, it can clip up any areas, especially because there's highlight moments, right? It understands the sentiment, it understands like what's going on. At the end of the day, clipping videos is also just summaries, right? You have to summarize and understand the content. So that's something I love using. I'll be on like a legal call and they're talking about a bunch of different things that I don't understand. And then I can have Fireflies help me draft up like a template for what I need to use for an NDA, for example. Just like putting these things out there. We're on marketing calls. We're brainstorming some crazy cool ideas. And then I'll basically go to Fireflies and say, hey, can you draft up like 5 LinkedIn posts based on what we talked about? Yeah. And there's like an app for creating LinkedIn posts on Fireflies. So conversations is where work starts. That's like the thesis on day one. Yeah. And now you can think about all the different things you can do from that source of data.